guys, welcome back to my channel. I really hope you enjoyed the video. If so, please like and subscribe, it would mean the world to me. So if you asked me about a year ago if I was going to start baking bread, I would have told you absolutely no, and probably laughed at you as well. But during lockdown I started watching a lot of YouTube videos, and one of the rabbit holes I fell down was about frugal meal planning. And one of the things that came up all the time was baking a loaf of bread, and it always looked really good and it was super cheap as well. So I decided I would give it a go. Now, bread had always intimidated me a little bit before, with the yeast being a living ingredient and the proofing time and kneading. I wasn't really sure if that was just squishing the bread or what you had to do. So I just wanted a really easy recipe, and I had no machines, no bread makers, no mixers, anything like that. So this video is just going to go through how I make a loaf of bread with no machines. So I hope you enjoy.
Okay, so here you can just see I'm getting out everything that I'm going to need. I'll leave everything that I've used down below, and I'll also leave the ingredients list as well. So strong flour is made from the harder varieties of wheat. This has more gluten, and this helps with the structure of the bread and to add a bit of spring. The brown sugar helps to give the golden colour to the crust and for flavour. The oil coats some of the proteins and makes the bread less tough. And I like to use some milk to preserve the bread and also to improve the crumb texture as well. My yeast is fairly new as well, so I've just combined it in the bowl, but you can add it to some warm liquid first. I like to just use my hand to mix everything together, but you can use a whisk or a spoon, but I use my hands to knead the bread anyway. I like to knead the bread on a chopping board, and I like to add a bit of oil and have some flour next to it as well, just for ease. Kneading the bread helps to increase the gluten, and this helps to give structure to the bread and give it that rise as well. Rather than go on a time limit, I like to either do the bounce test or the window test. The window test probably works out better, and with this you're just taking a small amount of dough, you're pulling it apart, and then the idea is that you'll be able to see sunlight through the bread before it tears. Once you're happy with your dough, put it back into the bowl and then cover it with a tea cloth and leave until it's doubled in size, or for about 2 hours. Next up is to knock back the dough, and this removes the large air bubbles and helps to give an even texture to the loaf. After this, I shape the loaf, and I'm still very much practicing this, but I like to fold down both the top and bottom sides and then fold in the sides there. Make it into a bit of a rectangle, and then you can see I'm just rolling it up there. Then I like to turn it over as well, and I'm trying to just get one seam along the bottom, and you can see here I'm just trying to neaten that up as well. For the second rise, I like to put the dough in the Dutch oven and into a warm oven for about 40 minutes. Next up, you want to score your dough, and this just helps so that when your bread's rising in the oven, you've chosen the direction that it's going to rise. Otherwise, the air will come out of the weakest point of the dough, which typically tends to be the sides. For this, I'm just using a sharp knife, but you can use some scissors, or you could get a bread lame, which is a razor blade. I baked this loaf for about 40 minutes with the lid on the Dutch oven, and then for about another 5 minutes just to develop the colour on top. The Dutch oven helps to keep the steam inside whilst your bread is cooking, but you can put some hot water on a pan sheet and put that in your oven if you don't have a Dutch oven. And here you go, here's the finished result.
Video is actually going to be one about Charlie, and it's what he eats in a day, so hopefully you'll find that interesting, and that should be up later this week. But if you have any questions, please leave me a comment, and if you want to see any other ways to score bread using a knife or scissors, then just let me know. If you've enjoyed this video, then please consider liking and subscribing. That would really help me out, especially as this is a brand new channel. Thank you.